What I've been able to do is really speak on behalf of families that have worked very hard for the tax money that they pay. And really respect them and respect the hard-earned money that they provided state government to spend. And I haven't seen enough people be responsible for our tax money. And so I want to talk about some of the things I've done. I put forth the first budget in 8 years the Republican Senate ever had. It was a detailed budget, which in a 5-year plan balanced the budget, produced surpluses in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th year. I put forth the first major reform for workers' compensation and got that to the floor, and the Democrat leadership met me with 28 present votes because there was special interest involved and they weren't willing to take them on. And today, I finalized a pension reform bill that is the only comprehensive pension bill that saves over $150 billion and makes the system solid and is fair to workers, fair to state government, and fair to the taxpayers that have to pay the bill. And, you know, I came into this not believing in term limits, but now I do, because there's a reason. Legislators shouldn't be there as a career, and they shouldn't have pensions. And that's part of my pension bill, is that legislators don't have pensions in the future. You will support me this November. I will go back and do just the same things I've been doing for the last 3.5 years, and that is providing bold, independent leadership. And I say independent because, you know what, even parties can be wrong at times. And there are times that I've had to step out away from my party because I really felt that was the right thing to do. I took a stand against the smart grid bill, got punched for it on the Senate floor. I took a stand against Tenasca, Lucadia, Power Holdings, because it was the wrong way to pick winners in this state, especially after we had increased taxes on everyone. I took a stand on the CME Sears bill, which was nothing but corporate welfare. And I'll continue to take those stands if you will trust me for another 2 years. Thank you.
And our tax system is not very progressive. It's flatter than I think it should be. I believe that people who have the means should pay more, and they don't. It's also been asserted by them that President Obama has raised your taxes. It's simply not true. In fact, he has issued the largest 2-year tax cut in the history of our nation. And only 10% of people know that. Tax cuts pay for themselves. No, they don't. Tax cuts for job creators, I call them job creators, spur economic growth. No, they don't. There's no evidence in that direction whatsoever. And Americans are overtaxed. Well, we can debate that one, I suppose. But compared to other developed and industrialized nations, we actually are the least taxed industrial nation in the world. And the overall tax burden is lower than it's been in 60 years. And I'm not by that statement advocating higher taxes by any means, but I do think that those who have the means to pay taxes should pay their fair taxes. I think that we can conclude our debate on conceal and carry. And I know that in Southern Illinois, our culture is a lot different than in Northern Illinois. But the only way this is going to pass is if we give Northern Illinois, perhaps Cook County, Chicago, and some of the collar counties, an opportunity to opt out. It's time to do that, and it's time to make guns available to those who use them responsibly for hunting and wildlife management. And finally, I think that people who can afford to pay higher taxes should pay higher taxes. Thank you.
You continue to put more burden on job creators, people that have capital, and that are willing to risk that capital to put our neighbors and our family back to work. They won't do it in Illinois. They're going to go somewhere else. And so the idea that a, quote, progressive tax is a solution to this state's budget is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. We don't have an income problem. We've got a spending problem. You know, if we would simply take our spending back to the 2009 level and keep that flat for 5 years and only increase it by inflation or population growth, we'd be out of this mess. We've had billions of dollars to spend on education, roads, bridges, property tax relief, which is one of the plans that I put forth, that automatically surpluses go to those things. We have a spending problem, folks. We don't have an income problem.